If you're inspo tanks, and make no mistake, you've come to the right place. Just give to Neil the time to straight up blow your mind with a new show of Drawing a Blank.
Welcome back to Drawing a Blank. This week, instead of drawing a character, we're going to do some studies and draw some servals. Servals are smaller wildcats native to Africa, recognizable by their spotted coats, long ears, and long leggies. I've always loved these somewhat odd-looking cats, so today I'm going to break down how I do a light study of something to learn how to draw it. Now, since servals are still cats, they are pretty similar to domestic cats, which, of course, I've drawn plenty of. So I don't need to do a super in-depth study of servals to get the basics right. I'm mostly going to be looking out for how to keep the proportions accurate and the pelt pattern recognizable. If I was doing a study on something that I was less familiar with, I'd probably start by looking up a skeleton of the thing first and then work up from there. Anyway though, for my first serval drawing, I'm going to be using a photo for reference. I'm getting warmed up and sketching in the important details to give myself a trial run at drawing servals. I've drawn them plenty of times in the past, but it has been a while, so I want to try to keep an open mind as I look for details that I might have missed in earlier drawings. I've gathered a bunch of other pictures from the internet to look at while I work as well, so if something doesn't make sense to me from the angle that I'm looking at it in one photo, my hope is that another photo will help me out. Next, I want to draw another serval using photo reference, but this time I'm going to be looking at color mostly to get a better understanding of the color palette of a natural looking serval. My drawing stays very loose here because I'm mostly focusing on color. Since I'm painting now, I'll also be using a larger brush to block out my colors. And even though the photo reference I'm using doesn't have a particularly strong lighting source, I'm going to shade it as though it does. That way I can get a better feel for the 3D shape of a serval's head. And now with my couple of studies done, I'm going to move on to just drawing a serval in my own style. I still keep all my reference photos up to help me, but I'm just not going to try to copy what I see in this piece. Servals are known for leaping straight up in the air to pounce down on their prey, so I want to draw a serval mid-leap. Their backs arc rather than stretch out since they literally leap upwards instead of forward, and that's the kind of movement I want to imply with my drawing as well. Servals have admittedly pretty awkward looking bodies, with their small, somewhat stumpy bodies on stilts for legs, so I'm also trying to add a little bit more appeal to my serval as well. I make the head slightly larger than it would be on a natural serval, while keeping the ears nice, big, and round. I keep the legs long and slender, and try to emphasize their large feet. When coloring, I also made sure to use a slightly more golden brown color to imitate their pelts in real life, where sometimes the color of the pelt looks slightly deeper and richer on certain parts of the body. And I finish it with a little declaration of love, of course. If you also love servals or my drawing of them, you can check out my design on Redbubble. I've got this little guy on stickers, throw pillows, t-shirts, and all kinds of stuff. And that's all for Drawing a Blank. I hope you liked it, and if so, please share with your friends and leave a like. I'm extremely grateful. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll be back next week with a new episode. Stay inspired.